This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and does not constitute professional advice. The views, thoughts, and opinions expressed are the speaker's own and do not represent the views, thoughts, and opinions of their affiliated organizations.
All right, well, welcome back to Ready to Connect. I'm Ryan.
I'm Heather.
I'm Darlene.
This is our special guest this morning.
Yeah.
Did we say it this morning?
Yeah, sure.
This morning.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what time it is at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been up for like 6 hours.
I feel the same, yes.
Maybe we have been.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And we want to give a special shout out to Lisa all the way over there in Tanzania, Africa. We're hoping that you're having a blast and we miss you already.
Absolutely. And but today our topic is about past lives. On our previous episode, we spoke briefly about past lives and past life regressions. And so today we're excited to have our guest, Darlene, come on the show here to discuss an experience that she's willing to talk about on behalf of someone else about a past life.
Right. So the person that we're talking about at the time, he's 16 now, but when he was younger, my 4-year-old son, would share with us little things here and there, and we weren't really sure where that was coming from. And then he sidled up to my nephew, who happens to be Ryan.
Yes.
And he would sit close to him and ask him, do you remember what we promised?
Yeah.
And we were like, what? And you came to me because you were young and you're like, I don't know what he's talking about. I don't know what he's talking about either, but it continued. Do you remember what we promised? And didn't you say, like, what did we promise? And he wouldn't tell you.
Right. Right.
So I think you got out of him somehow.
Yeah.
Not what the promise was, I don't think, but,
yeah, eventually he came up and asked me if I would so after that, he came up and asked if I was ever in the Army. And I didn't know how to explain to a 4-year-old that, yes, I had a past life experience being in the Army, but it wasn't in this life. It was a long time ago. Yeah. I didn't know how to explain that. Yeah. So
were there other signs that were coming forward, like in night terrors or maybe certain eating habits that didn't make any sense? Can you remember? Were
question.
there other little signs other than him snuggling up to Uncle Ryan?
No, I wouldn't say that. I would just say that he's always been, even now, he's always been a 60-year-old man. He's the most responsible person in the room with any of his friends. All his friends' parents want him to be friends with their son because they know nothing's going to go down. He's just going to make good decisions. He's going to be very mature about it. And I don't think he got that from me, but he's always been like that. So.
That's interesting. So it just showed up out of the blue. Like you just started talking about this past life.
Yeah, like
That's
we
so
were supposed to
fascinating.
know maybe. He had it in the back of his head and we just didn't know that.
Right.
So.
Right. That's fascinating. And then after he continued to start talking about this, were there other things that you started to notice that he was behaving?
So what we did was, Ryan, you got out of him that he was in the Army.
Yes, yeah, because he kept asking if I was in the Army, and I said, well, not now, but a long time ago I used to be. And then he said, oh, we were on the same team. We were on the green team.
So Ryan says you have to ask him like what regiment or infantry or whatever we were in. So it was awkward, because I didn't want to push him. I didn't want to lead him. I didn't want to make him say anything because I didn't want to be like that. So I was getting him ready for bed, and he was hopping around in my bed, and we're talking and whatever. And so I said, when you were in the Army with Ryan, what did you do in the Army? What did you do? He said, we cleaned the guns.
Oh.
Now I thought that's just weird. Okay. So you clean the guns. Yep. That's all. I go, what else did you do? He goes, that's what we did. We did it all the time. That was our job. So, okay, I'm just going to take that as a lay person. Well, that doesn't make much sense. Then I was like, well, okay, number were you? What was your team's number? Because I'm coming from an age where MASH 4077, it was a show. So I'm looking for a long number like that.
Yep. Or big red one.
So he's like, oh, and he was thinking really hard. And I said, well, close your eyes. Can you see the number? Like, what's the number? Keep in mind he's 4. Be smart. But he goes, 26.
Wow.
So I'm like, wow, he really doesn't know what he's talking about. Shouldn't it be a long number?
Right.
so he said at that time, I got hurt. I got pieces in me. He didn't say bullets, which is find out later is interesting. Like the realization later. I had pieces in me, and they went here. He pointed out each spot in his left side, and up here I had one piece that was really close to my heart, but it didn't kill me.
Wow. Does he have any birthmarks in that spot?
No,
either?
Actually, he doesn't.
Okay.
So
okay.
He has one on his wrist.
Okay.
So I said, it's an odd looking thing, but I said, okay. He goes, well, a medic saved me. A medic, you're 4. How do you know medic? We don't watch shows like that. I never have my kids watch any police thing, nothing like that.
Yep.
So for him to say, a medic saved me. And I said, oh, and then he looked at me like he was older and maybe somebody else and said, medics don't carry guns, but some do. And he had like this little smile on his face, like, this one did.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Wow.
So he said, after that, I had to go back. After I was fixed, I had to go back. So he must have been injured in some other part of the war. And then he went back to wherever he ended up.
Okay.
So at the time, smartphones were new. So we didn't use this right away. We weren't using this to look up things on the internet or anything like that. But I did have it. So I put in Army 26th. And it came up with a very tiny picture, because it was a small phone, of a stone facade of I don't know if it was a building or it didn't, because the picture was small. And it had an eagle on the top. So I said, does this look familiar? He sat up on his knees and he goes, I was there. Yeah, I was there.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay. And then he just went into remembering and talking about it. He said, we got there and there were so many tunnels. No one knew where to go. Even our boss didn't know where to go. So we just went in, and a lot of guys died. A lot of guys died, but we were the good people. We were the good guys, and we won. This
incredible.
is so bizarre to me. I'm not into history. I don't know what he's talking about. I'm like, okay, all right. And then he just got a little like too reflective. I felt bad talking about it at that point.
Yeah.
So I just was like, okay, we're just going to talk about something else. So
let's go outside and play. Yeah.
No, he was going to bed. So I read him a story, whatever. He went to bed. And I came downstairs to my husband and my much older son. And I said, this kid is talking about being in this tour of duty. And he's really specific. We got to pull it up. So we pull it up on the laptop, and we're like, this is a real thing. This is actually a real thing. So I pulled a piece of it here. The 26th Infantry is out of New England. It's called the Yankee Division. So this is what we read, basically. I'm sure part of it, I know not exactly that night, but on May 5th, 1945, the Yankee Division overran Gusen concentration camp. SS authorities had established Gusen, I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, as a separate concentration camp in May 1940 to better exploit the nearby stone quarries with forced laborers. As Allied bombing raids on Germany increased in intensity, the Nazi leadership decided to move industrial war production underground, using concentration camp prisoners for labor. The Gusen, the SS deployed inmates to evacuate out of nearby mountains an elaborate system of tunnels that connected to mammoth subterranean installations for aircraft production. We were just completely in shock. This kid just described what they did. So in 1944, Gusen had become a subcamp for a concentration camp. In May 1945, as U.S. troops neared the camp complex, some SS and Nazi party planned to demolish the tunnels with the prisoners inside. The advance of the 26th Infantry and the 11th Armored Divisions ensured that such plans would not be carried out.
Wow.
So chilling,
Yeah.
chilling to say the least. So we were in shock, all of us. I just dropped my water. So we were in shock to say the least. And
Did he ever talk about a train system down in these tunnels? No, they just
I don't know, was there one?
Well, there is history proof that there was train tunnels down underneath where they actually have a theory that the Amber Room from Poland, I believe it was, or Czechoslovakia. We'll have to look that up. But the Amber Room was moved through all those tunnels before they flooded them. And to this day, those tunnels still exist actually and are fully flooded.
Wow.
And investigators do try to go in there, but the gases and, you know, from being under the water and the stagnant water. But this is
yeah.
I
fascinating.
was reading up on it last night just to find this piece, and I didn't see that at all.
Wow.
But so a few days later, I got up my nerve again, and I sat down with the laptop with some photos of the that tour or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
And just he came up on and sat next to me. He goes, "Oh, are those pictures of me? Am I in those pictures?" And I said, I don't know. So we're just flipping through the photos, and he says, "Oh, there's the guns. These are the guns." And you know what? They're not. I was thinking guns that you hold. They're not. They're artillery guns. So they shoot, not missiles, but whatever I'm trying to say, shells. And so they're big moving racks with that one arm that you crank up and that shoots these. So that now that made sense to me. But they're actually called artillery guns, and he was saying guns. That's amazing too. I didn't know that either.
Yeah, because you weren't exposing him to that kind of
No, and
material.
I never.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
That was really cool. But he was looking at the pictures, and I just thought he looked more and more not distraught, but it was sinking into him how terrible it was because a lot of guys died. He said that a lot. So we just stopped with it right there.
Yeah.
And it didn't really
No
say
sense in traumatizing a
no.
4-year-old.
Enough is enough. I mean, that's all I need. That's plenty.
Yeah.
That's plenty to have lived through.
Were you ever able to find a picture of that battalion and he was able to see himself, or?
No, you know what? Actually, I skipped a part. I said to him early on, I said, "What was your name? Do you remember your name?"
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, like he was embarrassed. He said, they call me Tippy. And I said, Tippy. He goes, "There's no E at the end. Everyone wants to put an E, but there's no E. You're 4. How do you know?" Okay, the name Tippy. And I'm thinking, is that really a name? And is that, whatever? And I said, "What was your last name?" And he said, "Adriana."
Oh.
And I said, "Oh, okay." And he said, "Well, that could be my wife's name." So I don't know.
Wow.
And we tried to find Tippy Adriana. We haven't been successful. But when we looked up Tippy with no E, it was very, very popular name back then.
Really?
Very popular.
In like the
in
Northwest,
the military,
Northeast?
I don't know. So all the military records that my sister looked through, I couldn't do it. Yeah. She's like, there's so many. So much so we thought, is this a title? Like some abbreviation for some military person, but it's not. It's just, that's a name.
That's a name.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's so many ways to spell Adriana. And did he get it right? Is it Adriana? Is it Adrienne? So at 2 ends, who knows?
Yeah, and you can't push a 4-year-old, obviously.
Oh, well, he didn't know.
Get that spelling right.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Exactly.
Well, E, we know. Okay, there's no E.
Yeah.
Yes. How incredible. How fascinating. And has he since lost this memory?
I've asked him over the years. I think he just doesn't want to talk about it. I think he can remember some, he just doesn't want to talk about it. He has said he's here to play ball. And he's an excellent baseball player, for real. And he's here to play ball. So I guess he's coming back to do something he wanted to do back then and couldn't do.
Right. He had a choice that he could take this lifetime.
I'm guessing. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
How incredible.
Yeah.
And how about you, Ryan? When you were talking with him, were you having resonance of like some of the things he was saying, or do you remember directing Tippy to do certain
I never
things?
called him.
Do you remember your name as a military member, or?
Yeah, so those are all really good questions.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm
yeah,
here to
when
stir the pot,
yeah. So
Yikes.
when he first approached me a long time ago, and started talking about all of this, it was just like little pieces here and there. I once again, same with Darlene, I didn't want to lead him into
Right.
Yeah.
anything.
Right.
I was gonna let him come to me. Um, and there would be times where we'd be walking outside our grandparents' house as if we were old men reminiscing on the war. And he would just tell me like, oh yeah, and then we did this and that, and I was like, wow, it kind of, some of it did coincide with recurring dreams that I had as a child of like what to do if, like, the bombs or shells were
Right.
coming in or something, how this is how we're gonna like save ourselves, things like that. um but yeah, he did mention at one point that our pact was we were gonna find each other again. So, and we did.
And you did.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
He
So
found you.
yeah, he
He
did.
just
He
slowly
found
just
me.
get on the sofa an inch closer and closer.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like, what
Yeah.
are you?
that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Awesome. Innocence.
Yeah,
I mean, complete innocence, not
Right.
I
knowing, but
promise.
Right.
yep.
We would be
Yeah.
together again.
Yeah. And but yeah, with so I kind of put that aside, but then years later I went to a past life regression, and I was able to go back to that lifetime of like the happiest moment of just like coming home and seeing my wife and son. And I thought, it'd be really cool
Did
to
you steal Tippy's wife? No, I'm kidding.
No, I did not. No, I actually know her name, so no.
Your wife's name.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
yeah. Yeah, I know that wife's name. Yeah. But basically, I was able to. I actually meditated and asked like, what was that name? If I could get a name, and I was able to find the name. I think it was John Polensky, and I was able to look him up, and I found he was in the military. He's from New Jersey, and when he had an honorable discharge, and then passed away like 3 years, I'd say, after the war. But yeah, it was fascinating being able to connect all of that. And yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and then hopefully we could find Tippy.
I know. I'm going to find Tippy. Maybe it was I thought it might be a nickname his parents
Yeah.
gave him or something.
Yeah, that
It
makes
could
sense.
Maybe
easily have
because he
been his
fell
name.
over or something. Yeah, all that. Does that say mums? Do you have a
I
note here?
No, what I was going to say, only thing he said later in his life was we were at lunch with my mom and her friends,
Oh,
and they were talking about something because they were old. These women were older than my mom even, and he said, "Did you know when when I was an old man, I would pee my pants sometimes. When you're
Oh,
old, you just pee your pants." And these women
oh,
were cracking up. Like he's like, "No, when I died, I was really, really old." So that's good. He lived a
wow.
while. He lived a while.
Depends. Yes.
Yeah.
That's incredible. It's incredible that he can, at 4 years old, have the vocabulary, right?
Yeah.
First off, not that
right.
I'm not doubting he's smart, but at
Yeah, he
4-year old,
was. He went to
there's a reserved,
Yeah, he went to kindergarten when he was 4 because he was able to read.
oh,
So they
wow.
were like, "Oh, he can read." So he's 16. He's a senior.
Excellent.
But
Very smart.
yeah,
Brilliant.
he because he's 60 years old in there. Like I just say, people
Absolutely.
like he's such a good kid. I'm like,
Well,
because
then that's one child
underneath
you
there
don't
is
have
just a
to.
60-year-old man, I think.
Yeah. Well, at least you don't have to worry about him doing something dumb.
No, he's not doing anything crazy.
Yeah, that's great. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Any other like history points you can think of as you're sitting here that he used to talk about?
I mean, even the facade that you were talking about, like he recognized that.
Yeah, he recognized
which-
that facade, and that I was able to, yeah, that was at Gusan. That
Okay.
was there.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. So, but just to go back and be able to legitimize everything he told us was
Oh yeah, that's always so
fascinating.
validating when you can have, legit records and find pictures and whatnot. That's incredible.
In him remembering it, he did say, I tried to shield Ryan, but I couldn't. So he was really upset by that. And I was thinking, oh, geez,
Yeah.
did that person pass? I didn't ask him. He never said he died. He said, I tried to shield him and I couldn't. So I don't know what that meant, but
Well, they must have been I mean, we could surmise that if he was shielding Ryan, that there was some form of battle that occurred.
and maybe
Right.
that's when he promised you he'd see you again. And
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yep.
Hmm.
Little pieces splintering through. Yeah. Well, this
Yeah.
is an incredible story.
Yeah. Yeah, and Heather, do you have experiences with past lives? Like,
Lots of past lives.
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, they pop up all the time. In fact, it got to the point in my life where every time something creeps up, I write it down now because
Oh, that's a good idea.
that way I can look back and like little things will filter in and I'll add it to where I think it needs to go. And there's one storyline that I have it's fully rounded. Like I saw all of it, I could hear all of it, and it was definitely a British lifetime, which is really cool. And so yeah, lots of experience with things coming through. And also in my profession as a psychic, we do past life, we ask spirit to come forward and show past lives, or have your past self come forward and
Oh, wow.
talk. So it's a great experience Lisa and I have when someone asks if they want to do a past life reading, because it allows us to dive into all these different channels of who you are, what you brought here, what you didn't bring here, what you passed on to maybe your kids, not even realizing it. And that's something that happened for me was I have this thing. I don't like anything touching my neck.
Hmm.
And my grandpa used to always joke with me that I must have been hung in a past life. Well, my father has the same problem. Does not like anything touching his life. And of course, his father, my grandfather, used to say the same thing to him. So I believe that was generationally given to me, like
Wow.
inherited without even realizing.
Yeah.
So lots of cool stuff happens in this profession and being a psychic medium. So
how do people feel once they leave that sort of session? I mean, are they relieved, or is it
I don't
can it
know.
make it too
Ooh,
heavy?
that's a good question.
I
Yeah.
I can honestly say, thankfully, knock on some wood, that when people have left, they feel like they've placed a missing piece, or they're left with more questions than they came in
Oh,
with.
that's
And they go out and maybe do their homework.
right.
I've never had anybody walk, or Lisa and I have never had anybody walk out of the room like, how can you? Because this is all stuff that makes no sense to us. So why would we
Right.
be getting it? And it
Right.
makes no sense to you because it's your past life. So all you can do is take it and then re-listen to the recording, because something Lisa and I are very stern about is we want you to record your session,
Hmm.
because that way we can just talk. And if something doesn't make sense, you're not over there shutting your energy down and making weird faces because it doesn't make any sense to you. And then you go back, and a lot of times people come back to us and say, oh my gosh, I finally developed this or fully discovered this. So it's exciting. It's exciting stuff.
Do you have any thoughts on? I have a friend who's had just the most miserable life. Like it's just compounded, and she just keeps moving forward, and I really don't know how. Just anything that could happen, and
Steps in every pothole.
family structure that has just not lent herself into having an easy life as well. Like she's like, I don't know. She keeps saying, I don't know what I did in my past life, but it must have been terrible. This pharma this time around. Is there any
Absolutely.
legitimacy?
There is legitimacy to that. I know several people, including myself, that I just learned the lesson the hard way. I have to step in every pothole and figure it out and keep going.
Oh my
And we
God.
know many people like that.
Yeah, it's sad.
Yeah, it's sad, but you know what? I think people like myself and people who persevere out of all those potholes are great mentors, are great leaders, or great advice givers. And that's kind of why they've come here, because they've been through so much that now they lend that helping hand for other people to get out of that situation and be able to um, talk about it and figure out a path that works best. Like, because everybody has an opinion, so take all those opinions and forge forward. Yeah, it's incredible.
That's a good way of looking at it too. That they're a good mentor, a good advice giver, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a
Well,
good
I
way of
think if
looking
you
at it.
step in every pothole, you have to either persevere or you become silent and your voice is taken. And some
Mm,
people can empower themselves to go forward, and some people spend a lot of time in counseling, which there's nothing wrong with that either.
hmm
But once you figure out that this is past trauma, helps you move forward into the
Yeah.
future. And I do love the fact that as a Reiki practitioner, we are taught to help heal the past as
mm,
well. We have a specific symbol that we use in a later training that allows us to send healing energy backwards, forward, and into the present, which helps clear some of that karma where maybe you can think about it more clear. But I have said similar to what your friend has said. I must have been a bad person in my past life because I
Feels that
step in
way.
every
I can't even
pothole.
imagine.
But what I do is I take all those potholes and I would think, much like, your friend and much like a lot of people out there, you take that past trauma and you uplift
mm.
and you move forward and you help people with something like that.
So
Yeah.
you think there's a benefit for her of seeing someone like you?
Sure, absolutely. Maybe we can narrow down what was so crappy about her past lives, not to put it in, right? Maybe we can narrow down, like, okay, in this lifetime, like I know Lisa had a past life where she was beheaded.
Mm.
So we were able to narrow that down. So now she can take the precautions because she always has, some neck issues, and she takes care of that issue. And so it helps her move forward too. But
Wow.
we're able to identify why she keeps getting that nasty crook in her neck. Yeah, I think there's a lot of benefit to understanding.
Hmm. Darlene, did you want to share anything? Do you have any experiences with past lives?
Not that I want to talk about now.
Okay. Just had to
We'll
ask.
talk later.
If you want.
Was
Well,
there?
this was exciting.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I was gonna ask, is there anything else that you wanted to share that maybe we didn't touch upon
No,
or?
I think we made it all the way. I made some notes and I think we did hit
Mhm.
all the notes.
In any of your past lives besides this military one, Ryan, do you have premonitions of past lives?
Yeah, I did have one of being back to being a Native American.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I felt like I had a connection with that, and I was able to see that life as
Mm-hmm.
well. Because the gentleman wanted us in the past life regression wanted us to go back to our earliest memory, and that was the earliest one that I saw, and it was just so incredible being able to um, look around and like look at my feet and like look at the people around me, see what we were eating, um, and we were just sitting around a fire, that type of thing, and it was incredible.
Fascinating.
Other than that, because I live vicariously through Sherlock Holmes, I wonder if I have a past life connection to 1800s and
Most
Britain as
definitely.
well. So yeah,
Most
yeah,
definitely.
I definitely have that feeling.
I think
So.
anybody could sit for a minute and think of something they do that wasn't inherited from their parents or learned from their parents or grandparents or
Mhm.
influenced by people, but yet you still do something that doesn't even fit in, but it makes you comfortable. I always joke, I was raised Italian. But I was the kid that at 3 o'clock had to have tea all the time. And like, that didn't fit in because
Yeah.
Yeah.
so little things that when you step back and you look at like all your little OCDs or traditions and you do
Mm,
something that's a little different, you you could probably count on a past life stepping forward that's making you want to do that.
that's true. It's a good point.
Yeah,
And we'd definitely be curious if any listeners or viewers
absolutely.
have
I want to
any,
hear about your past lives.
yeah, so past life experiences or even just little things that they do here and there that just, as you said, may not fit in
To how
today,
you were raised.
but maybe, yeah,
Yep.
maybe it's connected.
And now we have the internet, right? The internet allows us to be a little more fluent, a little more brazen, a little more in our own skin, so to speak, because back in the day, whatever the genre was the genre, and that's how you dressed, and that because that was cool, right? And then nowadays we have the internet where people can really follow through with or reenact or behave in the sense that's coming forward and dress in certain period clothes, because now you don't have to dress in just that era. You see
True.
more and more of that now, like
Mhm.
with the big series of the Gilded Age coming out on HBO and some of these other BBC shows and whatnot. You see people wearing uh older clothing because they feel comfortable in it. I'm one of them. I don't need to dress the fashion. Like, I dress how I feel like I should dress. It's kind of cool how little things will pop up.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you do that
What?
yeah, do you have something that you do that, like, do you have to have tea at a specific time? Do you have to put the garlic
No,
in a certain way in a dish,
no,
or
not really. I can say that I did inherit, and I don't have, there's no reason why. I'm not crafty whatsoever. I can't scrapbook, I don't draw, I don't paint, but I can sew. And I can
oh,
sew really well. My grandmother, my great grandmother were seamstresses. And so I think I just inherited that.
yes.
There's no reason why I would be
Yeah.
good at sewing. I just don't have that.
Yeah, me either.
But I do. I don't have the patience for it either, but I do for sewing. It's something I know how to do without
S-
really thinking about it.
See, something
That's
coming
so that
forward.
is that is a little strange.
Inherited.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's
Mhm.
cool. That's very cool.
Or even something else that I know you've inherited is just being in staying calm in stressful situations.
Yep,
So
absolutely.
And it's
emergency
not,
emergency
Emergency
situations, you name it.
situations, you
Yep.
want me to be there. I
yep.
just
Mhm.
stay calm. I don't even flinch. Like, we were on a cruise and this person behind us, the worker, dropped a pile of trays, and
Oh,
everyone went, "Wow!" My husband said, "I was looking right at you, Darlene, and you didn't even flinch." I'm like, "It's because I'm assessing the situation, and I
yep.
knew it didn't mean anything."
Yep.
But, but if there is a situation where you do need to jump in, I went
Yeah.
through the training so that I know what to do and stuff like that. So I would say, yeah, I have that calm, whatever that is, to
That's my business partner.
resuscitate
My
people
my beautiful friend
and things
Lisa.
like that.
She's the one, she just knows.
Yeah,
That's just her gift.
that
Okay,
is
we'll just go find Lisa because she'll know what to do. Or,
right. Everyone looks at me.
yeah, exactly. She'll just do it. And it's
Hmm.
like, yeah, me, I stand there with like the,
Yeah,
fly
people.
trap.
I know. I know. Other people run away. I step up and
Mhm.
and just deal with
I don't
whatever
run
it is.
away. I'll get involved, but first I have to kind of see like all the terror go first, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I can help.
Oh.
What can I do?
Yeah.
But yeah, where Lisa's already gone, she's doing it.
Yeah,
Yeah, you said,
exactly,
yeah, yeah,
exactly. There's always going to be a couple that just jump right into it. So
Mhm.
exactly.
fortunately, I'm able to do that, and then I'll stay calm and take care of this person, and then later on, then I'll just kind of lose it. I'll just be like, wow,
Yeah,
that was really harsh. That was
yeah. You step back and like, whoa, that happened. Yeah,
yeah.
and then you have the realization. How about for
Hmm.
you, Ryan? Do you have anything that you do in your day that you didn't pick up from mom and dad or grandma and grandpa or even auntie over here?
Um, Definitely coin collecting. That's my newest obsession. Um,
The birds.
yep,
Where
the
do you think the birds
birds.
came from?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
weird.
I don't know. I have
How
no idea.
old are you?
I'm old.
You have another 20 years before you start watching birds.
I know, yeah. I got an
Hey
old
Just
now.
saying,
soul.
I thought that was
I,
kind of weird too, a little bit.
the fascination with birds.
But you
Yeah.
have the oddity of having bluebirds living
Yeah.
on your porch
Yep.
in a birdhouse. The bluebird, you'd be lucky if you see one. Never mind have one living
Right.
on your patio and having babies there, like nesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And I just find it fascinating that like I'll talk to the birds. Some of them have names too, but
Why not?
and they just they keep coming back.
Chief pet.
So yeah, yeah.
Stay outside.
I say that they're my outdoor pets.
Yes.
So
Only feed them when the bag's on sale. The bag of
exactly. Yeah.
seeds on sale.
Yeah. Yeah. But similar to what you were saying before too, I feel like I have a knack for staying calm in stressful situations as well. Like most recently, like even actually it was a year ago, there was a pretty bad car accident that I witnessed, and it was on a busy street, and no one else was stopping to help. So I just stopped. I'm like, well, okay, gotta stop and
It's
just
me.
get out,
It's me.
get out of the car. And similar to what you're saying, Darlene, like I'm assessing the situation, walking right up, asking everyone, "Are you okay?" And one girl was saying, "Oh, this is the first car accident I was in," and I was like, "Okay, well, if you feel pain right here, it's probably from the
The
seatbelt."
problem is they
And
don't feel any pain. I
yeah,
had a guy just. I've just now that you're saying this, Ryan, if I didn't know we were going to talk about something like this, but I've just
no,
had
yeah,
so
no
many
worries.
situations. I just happened to be there. Just happened to be there.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
I've walked into a Pizza Hut on
No
Myrtle Beach.
coincidences.
And I'm tired. I'm
exactly.
kind of tired of it. You know what I mean? Like, I know when it's coming,
Yeah.
but I walked into it. I trained in infant CPR, resuscitation, all that on Tuesday. Walked into a Pizza Hut on vacation in Myrtle Beach, and right away I noticed everything that I had been trained in, how people react when someone's choking. But this was literally a 4-month-old baby.
Oh.
So the mom was like patting the baby, looking at her, patting the baby, looking at her, and then she's like, I don't know. She threw her across the table to the husband. Like I'm totally watching this happen. And the dad stands up. He's patting her. Look at her. She is turning deep purple. So I just glided across. I don't remember even walking.
Yeah.
I put my hands out. I said, she's choking. He's like, she's not breathing. So, I did the quick, whatever. She's choking. So this is the infants. You put them down. And one of the things was, don't hit the baby's head on the table. That's what they trained me. But there were a lot of tables.
Oh,
and I did
geez.
not hit this baby's head on the table.
Good job.
I only had to pat her a couple times. She just let out all this milk, and I brought her up. And I wanted to keep her at that point, but I didn't. The parents, she's let out a cry. Everyone in the place was fully aware at that time by then what was going on. And the parents just sat on the floor and cried. And I had to walk away.
Yes.
So the funny part of that whole thing is, I'll bring us all the way around to a week later. My friend's like, "Oh, we're going to go and do adult CPR." Now, if we had learned adult first, that wouldn't have been very helpful.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Sorry. So I go to get in the car to go to this class, and my youngest son runs out because he had seen me do this, and he's like, "Mom, you think you're forgetting something?" I'm like, "No, honey, I don't think I'm forgetting anything." He's like, "You forgot your swimsuit." I go, "My swimsuit?" He goes, "Yeah." Then I realized he watched Baywatch. I don't know if you all are young enough to know what Baywatch is. He thought I was a Baywatch babe.
Oh.
I'm like, okay.
Okay.
I took my swimsuit.
I'll take that. It's adorable. That's adorable.
But I mean, other times
You're his hero.
Yeah. But I mean, I would say I've taken care of 3 people who've had seizures and were choking on either blood or their own vomit. I just happened to be at lunch. They called out from the kitchen, is there a doctor? And we're like, no, my son and I, who also is trained now, no, we're not doctors. Okay, anybody after we're like, damn it, that's us. So we had to go in, and he was choking on blood because he fell after he had a seizure and was choking. So we took care, but it's just constant. Another guy flipped his car in front of our house, got ejected from his pickup.
Oh.
And then got out of the car. He landed on the pavement like he was some sort of alien, stood up and started running into traffic, because cars are stopping now. Like, what is happening? And I'm like, so you have to stop. You're probably hurt. He goes, no, I have to get my boys. I'm like, there's children in this? Like, he whistled, and there were 3 pit bulls ran up the street to him. But I was like, you got to sit down right now. You went through that windshield. So, and as far as I know, he was okay. How weird is that?
Yeah.
How weird is that?
No coincidence.
But I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know why I'm there.
It's incredible. It's absolutely incredible when we get put into situations.
Maybe a dozen different things like that.
Yeah.
And yeah.
It'd be fun to explore your past lives, see where you were a rescuer.
I might have been a medic with a gun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You don't know. You don't know until you explore it,
We joke about it because I always have to have everything in my purse. And if you need something and I don't have it, then I'm upset. And it's usually something,
a paperclip.
Yeah. Basically all my medical supplies.
There you go. A Band-Aid.
Band-Aid, yeah, triple antibiotic cream, a cortisone, all that.
So I would probably bet you were some form of nurse, maybe even further back, like shaman or some form of healer, and any kind of
Yeah, something like that.
yeah, where this is your wheelhouse. You're comfortable in it.
Yeah, I'm
And it
comfortably
shapes us.
uncomfortable in it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Comfortably uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We all have something we're comfortable but uncomfortable about.
Yeah, I would say
Yeah.
that's what it was.
Like being a psychic.
Hmm.
It's really hard to go out into public sometimes and be like, yeah, I'm the psychic, because you get the people that'll, put their
They don't
hand
wanna
over their
know.
face. They don't want to know
Well,
you.
I mean,
And
it's some people, they think it's too spooky, and that's,
yeah, well, and
devil's work.
yeah, well, we've been up against that a couple times. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's very interesting. But you know what? I'm no different than anybody else. Either is any of my peer group out there. But it's fascinating how you get the bravery, right? You get the
Right.
bravery to say, okay, this is who I am. I'm not going to change. It's not going to change. I'm 51. It's not going to change at this point. Dating was hard.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, you can only imagine.
Can't
What do
even
you do
imagine.
for work?
That
I'm
would
a
make a good show.
psychic.
That would make a good
Oh, okay.
television show.
That would be a good television.
Yes.
Yeah.
Actually, I absolutely love watching every now and then that that TV show Ghosts.
Yep.
There's Flower, and then there's the one young lady that is the character who hears everything. That's me. Like, so when everybody's talking, I hear all the fighting behind us, or all the talking behind us. And like, whenever I need a good laugh, I watch that show because it's pretty spot on.
Someone probably knows.
Yeah.
Someone who was writing that knows.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. This has been awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Awesome. Do we want to pick an affirmation?
Yeah. Yeah.
You're going to pick another?
Sure, I'll pick
Yeah.
another one. I hope it's the same one. Just kidding.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Nope, it's not.
It's
Give
not.
light and people will find the way.
Oh, well, there
Very
you go.
true.
You just did.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Absolutely. We'll pass that down to Mr. Ryan. What you got?
Oh, okay. I was gonna let you go first.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I am always safe and divinely protected and guided. And I do ask for that every day.
Yeah, it's a good one.
It is a good one.
I think I've had this one before, but remember to give thanks for everything and you will be returned many blessings.
Yes.
That's a good one.
Yes, that's a great one.
Yeah.
Very cool. Well, until next time.
Yeah. So thank
Thanks.
you.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
This has been fun.
Yeah.
Nice to get to know you. I've heard so many stories.
Oh, I bet.
Felt like I knew you before, so now I really know you.
You know. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later. Definitely. Well, we hope you enjoyed this episode, and we look forward to seeing you and hearing from you. And join us on Patreon
Yes.
and Facebook,
Yep. And Instagram
Instagram,
and YouTube,
and
TikTok.
and jump in our
that's
conversations. We'd
all.
love to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm Heather,
And I'm Ryan.
and this is Auntie.
Darlene.
And until then, let's get ready to connect.
Thank you for tuning in to Ready to Connect. If you're interested in exclusive behind-the-scenes content, be sure to like, share, and follow us on social media by searching for Ready to Connect Podcast on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And for those looking to further support our podcast, consider subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/readytoconnectpodcast. And until next time, get ready to connect.